Asian countries celebrate Lunar New Year.
In Nghệ An, provincial leaders visit and extend New Year greetings to agencies and units on duty during Tet.
Preserving the soul of the Vietnamese Tet through year-end traditional customs.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yến, and here we go, the first step of the show. Lunar New Year is the biggest traditional festival of the year, not only in Vietnam, but also in many other countries. Depending on the culture, each country has its own unique customs. However, the core spirit of Tet holiday remains union and the aspiration for luck and prosperity.
In China, these days are filled with red everywhere. Chinese people often decorate their homes by hanging red couplets, red lanterns, pasting red paper, and setting off firecrackers to wish for a joyful Tet and a peaceful New Year. South Korea calls Lunar New Year Seolal. This is an important traditional holiday with ancestor worship rituals and characteristic dishes such as teoca, rice cake soup. Similar to Vietnam, Seolal in South Korea begins on the first day of the first lunar month. In North Korea, Lunar New Year is called Seol. In North Korea, the Lunar New Year is also a time for family reunions. In Southeast Asia, although Malaysia is a multi-ethnic country, its Chinese community still preserves and celebrates the Lunar New Year on a large scale, contributing to its unique cultural characteristics.
On the occasion of Lunar New Year this morning, a delegation from the Provincial Party Committee, the Provincial People's Council, the Provincial People's Committee, and the Provincial Fatherland Front Committee, led by Comrade Hoàng Nghĩa Hiếu, the Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee and the Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, just paid visit and extended New Year greetings to agencies and units on the duty during Tet holiday.
The delegation visited and extended New Year greetings to officers and soldiers of the Provincial Military Command, as well as the staff and employees of Vinh International Airport. These units play an important role in ensuring national defense and security and serving the travel needs of the people during Tet holiday. At each location, the Standing Deputy Secretary and Chairman of the Provincial People's Council highly commended their Tet preparations, combat readiness, and efforts to ensure security, order, flight safety, and passenger service during peak days. Also this morning, the provincial delegation visited and sent Tet wishes to the medical staff of the Nghệ An General Friendship Hospital, where they presented 50 gifts to underprivileged inpatients currently receiving treatment.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that he has informed U.S. President Donald Trump that any agreement between the United States and Iran must include the total dismantling of Iran's nuclear infrastructure, rather than merely halting uranium enrichment.
Speaking at the annual Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, Prime Minister Netanyahu expressed skepticism about the prospects of negotiations, but emphasized that enriched nuclear material must be removed from Iran. The second round of talks between the U.S. and Iran is scheduled to take place this week in Geneva, Switzerland. Ahead of the talks, an Iranian diplomat said the country hopes to reach an agreement that benefits both sides economically. Meanwhile, the U.S. has deployed more aircraft carriers to the region and left open the possibility of military action if negotiations fail.
Upcoming are some updated news.
On New Year's Eve tonight at Ho Chi Minh Square, Nghệ An Province will host a grand fireworks display to welcome the Year of the Horse 2026. The event promises a brilliant, colorful spectacle to light up the midnight sky, carrying with it hopes for a peaceful, happy, and prosperous new year. Specifically, the fireworks show will take place for 15 minutes from 00 to 0:15 on February 17th, New Year's Eve. The display will feature 180 pyrotechnic sets with funding sourced from private sector contributions. In addition to the fireworks, Nghệ An is organizing a series of vibrant cultural and artistic activities under the theme Celebrating the Party, the Spring, and the Nation's Innovation.
According to statistical data from the Department of Construction, as of January 2026, Nghệ An hosts 206 housing and urban area projects, covering a total land area of approximately 2,968 hectares. Projects that have been or are currently under construction will provide over 105,000 housing units to meet the needs of the province's residents, totaling more than 25 million square meters of residential floor space. The commercial housing market in Nghệ An has seen a distinct shift from the land plot sales model toward the development of comprehensively and professionally planned urban areas. Currently, Nghệ An continues to focus on developing a stable and transparent real estate market, strictly handling fraudulent activities, speculation, price manipulation, and policy profiteering, particularly regarding the procedures for buying and selling social housing.
This Tet, joy is multiplied for the Dan Lai ethnic people in the two border villages of Bừng and Kofat, Monson Commune. For the first time, they are welcoming the new year in spacious and sturdy new homes. Amidst the vast primeval forests, this simple happiness quietly spreads, warming every household, every gaze, and every smile during these first days of spring. A total of 73 new houses have been constructed simultaneously for impoverished and highly disadvantaged households. Alongside this, infrastructure, including electricity, roads, schools, medical stations, and mobile signals, is being completed. Tet, therefore, does not just arrive within each new house. It is visible in the transformed face of the entire village. These new roofs do more than just provide shelter from the sun and rain. They open up a newfound faith in a stable and sustainable life in the borderlands.
Tet does not merely arrive at the moment of New Year's Eve. It begins in the final days of the 12th lunar month, when each house is cleaned, family meal is prepared, and that old story is retold by the warmth of the hearth. These year-end customs remain a quiet yet powerful presence, helping to preserve the spirit of Vietnamese Tet. More in the story today.
On the last day of the year, Ms. Hoang Thi Thuong spends more time taking care of the ancestral worship space, meticulously preparing the ancestral altar for the traditional Tet holiday.
Following Vietnamese custom, my family, like many others, always turns our hearts toward our ancestors. During Tet, I focus on shopping for offerings and the ritual cleaning of the altar.
Similarly, for Ms. Nguyen Thi Huong, despite a busy schedule, traditional Tet customs remain a vital part of her family's culture. For her, Tet is a moment of profound significance.
The
end of the year is a time when I feel very warm and grateful. My family prepares a full offering tray and shows our sincere devotion.
From cleaning the house, tidying the altar, preparing the year-end offering tray, or wrapping traditional rice cakes together, gathering with family, each custom is an activity for family reunion. It is a time for younger generations to understand their roots and the beautiful traditions passed down through many generations.
Every year, my family usually make chung cake. I am very excited for Tet.
There are traditions for children and grandchildren to remember their ancestors.
In the final days, Vietnamese people also observe customs such as erecting the Siai Nay Yu, New Year's bamboo pole, bathing in old coriander water, and visiting ancestral graves. All these reflect the rich spiritual life and human philosophy of the Vietnamese people throughout history.
The rituals of New Year's Eve afternoon demonstrate the philosophy of when drinking water, remember its source, and the high value placed on family tradition. Spiritually, we discard the old to welcome the new.
Amidst the changes of modern life, these year-end traditions retain their full value. They remind each of us to cherish the past while looking forward to a new year and a future filled with faith and hope.
The last story to end our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.